Song said, I will not be quiet. Man, I will not be quiet. Thank you, brother. Well, as y'all can see, I am not Pastor Calvin. I am Pastor Tony. For all the first-time visitors and in their absence, we just want to send them our love. We miss them. Pastors, we miss y'all. Hurry home. Hurry home. See, that's easy to say. When you've been loved right, it's easy to miss someone when they're gone, when they're out of your presence. And they do a wonderful job at loving us. And so we miss them in their absence. Um, oh my gosh. I will not be quiet. Whew. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I will not be quiet. Well, since I'm not going to be quiet, let me get into this word because it's one for the people. Pastor, this is our second week um, in a new series called Embracing Grace. We only got one person that know what series we in? Embracing Grace. Okay, last week Pastor did an awesome job of giving us an understanding of why God's grace is so important. And so I've been tasked to give you the reason why love is just as important, because without that love, there is no grace. Without no grace, there is no love. And so today, I come to share with you what love is. Being that we're in the weekend of love, what better way to bring this word? And when Pastor told me I was going to be speaking, I was just like, oh man, what am I going to say? And the Holy Spirit just kept saying, talk about my love. Talk about my love. And so I know some of us is like, well, what's love got to do with it? And hence that's the topic of my sermon. What's love got to do with it? As you can see, and if you don't know, love has everything to do with it. Because without it, we wouldn't be here. No one would be here today without love. We'd all be hung on some cross somewhere because we'd have had to pay the penalty for that sin that we committed, that one man committed. But in John 3:16, if you can give me my scripture, John 3:16, it says, we know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us. So we also ought to give up our lives for our brothers and sisters. Love is the reason why we're able to stand here today. Not because of anything we done, but because of what God has done. And so in my study, and I'm like, okay, Lord, let me give me an understanding of what love, because we all have our version of love. I'm not talking about our version of love. We have a reason why we love and why we don't. And there's 4 types of loves, and if you don't know what they are, I'm going to share them with you. You have eros, you have storge, you have phileo, and then you have agape. Well, eros love is derived from the word erotic. So you have this sensual love, eros. You have this exotic love. You have phileo love, brotherly love, city of Philadelphia, brotherly love. That's where it comes from. You have a brotherly love. Then you have storge. Storge is a familial love, siblings, brothers and sisters, and parents with children. That's a storge love. And we all know what those loves have done to us. But I'm here to tell you why love has everything to do with it. And we always question ourselves, well, what's love got to do with it? Because we've damaged that word so much, and we've tainted that word, and so we feel like it doesn't even, what's the use? What's the use in love? And we hear pastors and people, even I myself, talk about, God's love and agape love, and we got all these descriptions of these loves, but nobody has given us the understanding of agape love. And so I asked the Holy Spirit, I said, show me what it is about agape love that's different from all the other loves, from your eros love, from your phileo love, and from your storge love. And so as I began to study and understand what agape love is, y'all know the song, What's Love Got to Do with It? Can you play that for me, if you could? This is how we do love. How we treat love. What's love? We don't even want it no more. Love has hurt us, disappointed us. It even called it an old-fashioned notion. And I'm like, okay, a sweet old-fashioned notion. And I'm like, oh, okay, Lord, well, what's the notion? I mean, if this is what we're relating love to, help us to understand what a notion is. So, what did I do? I looked up the word notion. Wow. Okay. Let me give you the definition of notion. Excuse me. Notion. A mental idea. This is what we call love. This is what we associate love with. It has a three-part definition. Vague, a vague general understanding that isn't fully detailed. B, whimsical, a sudden, sometimes impulsive desire. C, conceptual, a formal theory or collective belief. This is what we call love. This is what we've delegated love to a notion. It's just a mental idea. It's something that we can't attain. It's vague. It has general understanding that isn't fully detailed. This is what we've done with love. We've just made a mess of it. And then when we talk about God's love, we associate it with all these other loves that have disappointed us. And so we find ourselves not wanting his love. I'm cool on love. What's love got to do? Who needs love when a heart can be broken? This is how we do God. Because we've experienced all these erotics and all these other loves first. And they're just worldly love. That's just our definition of love. And when you understand that those kind of loves can only offer you vague and only offer you worldly pleasures. That's all those loves have, erotic. That's sensual, sexual. That's all it can offer you. It doesn't have anything else to offer you. And then after it's gotten all it can get from you, then you find yourself disappointed. Well, I gave to you and you didn't give to me. And I love you and you didn't love me back. And this is what it does. Familial love, brothers and sisters. How many of we know how that go? I mean, that's my sister. I love her to death, but I don't fool with her. This is what this kind of love give us. Then you got phileo love, brotherly love. What's up, bro? And that's it. That's about it. I see him and that's my boy. What's up? That's about it. That's all it can give you. If you can give me 2 Corinthians 5:18 through 21, this is NLT. It says, and all of this is a gift from God who brought us back to himself through Christ and God has given us this task of reconciling people to him. For God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself, no longer counting people's sins against him. And he gave us this wonderful message of reconciliation. Now, you've heard us say it before, yeah, but love, forgiveness don't always mean reconciliation. Well, it should. It should. Put that scripture back up there. Let me. It says, for God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself through love. What if Christ forgave you but didn't reconcile you back to him? What if he died on the cross and said, yeah, I forgave you, but we cool. I'm cool. I'm cool on you. Where's the reconciliation? What was the purpose of him dying on the cross if there's no reconciliation? That's how we've done love. We treated love like there's no need for it. And so and you can't attract what you despise. You can't want love, but you don't want love. Which one is it? Do you want it or you don't? You know? And so we find ourselves associating God's love with this worldly love. And it's amazing how we do that because we haven't even tried his love, but we just assume it's like all the other loves we've tried. And we haven't even given his love a chance. Well, let me give you the definition of his love. Remember, there's 4 types of love: eros, phileo, agape, and storge. We've tried the other 3, and look where they left us. But when it comes to his love, and the reason why his love was mentioned last, because they always say you save the best for last. Now, in my study, what I found out about agape love, it's not like the other loves because the other loves were just descriptive. God's love is defined. It has a definition to agape. It's not just descriptive. Oh, it's attached to this word. No, it literally has a definition, while all the other ones were just described. Now, listen to this definition of love. First of all, this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to sit up. I want everybody to sit up, if you would. Buckle your seatbelt, because we're going on the ride. Buckle in now. Don't want nobody to fall out. Buckle in, safety first. Honestly, pay attention. Listen to this. Listen to this. Pastor, you've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. Pay attention. Stay focused. Listen to this definition of agape love. Agape love is a selfless, unconditional, and intentional commitment to the well-being of others. Kind of sound like for God so loved the world that he gave. It says, modeled by God's love for humanity. John 3:16. Wow. Agape love is action-oriented, a sacrificial and enduring choice rather than a feeling. So love ain't a feeling? Wow. It's a choice. Agape love, not phileo, not storge, not eros. Those are feelings. That's why we get in trouble, because we move by our feelings. And then when they disappoint us, we're looking at agape, which it says is a choice. So you chose not to choose agape. And then we wonder why. Now, let me finish, because I want y'all to really get the understanding of agape. Agape love is patient, it is kind, it is loving and forgiving. Here we go. With no expectation of reciprocity. No expectation of reciprocity. Of course, me, I'm always like to inform myself. Well, what does reciprocity mean? And I said, okay, well, look it up. So I looked up the word reciprocity, and it's real. It is so real how these words and how God is in everything. God is in everything. And we'll try to take him out of things like, to satisfy us, to satisfy the flesh. But when I looked up the word reciprocity, it was amazing what it told me it was. And give me a second, and I will find it for you, and I will read it. Agape, reciprocity. It says, agape love is patient, kind, loving, forgiving with no expectation of reciprocity. So everything Christ did, he did it with no expectation of you giving it back to him. For one, you couldn't, because reciprocity is just another way for saying, I just had it. Forgive me. Here we go. Reciprocity, a relationship or situation involving a mutual exchange. Mutual now. That means, hey, if you go, I'll go. This is mutual. We on the same page. It's mutual. A mutual exchange of goods, actions, or privileges between two or more parties that are of equal benefit to each other. So Christ went to the cross. You gonna go? Christ, you went to the cross. I'm going with you. There's no mutual. I ain't going to the cross. But he did that with no expectation of you doing it back. For one, because you're not perfect. You couldn't atone for nobody's sin but your own. He knew that. So he even went with no expectation of you doing what he did. Well, this is why it's so important that we understand agape love, because it's the epitome of all the loves. It's like top shelf. It's the epitome of all the loves. Eros, phileo, storge. Then you got agape. It's the epitome. I know y'all gonna say, well, now what you finna? Epitome. What's the definition of epitome? This is class now. Y'all supposed to be paying attention. Everybody in their seatbelts, I hope. Epitome. This is agape love. Epitome. a person or thing that is a perfect example of a particular quality or type. So you mean to tell me agape love is a perfect example of those four loves? But we only want to indulge in the three. It's a perfect or quality. Well, what's the qualities of agape love? Y'all can ask me that question. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the first, let me share this with you. Christ had to die to himself to save an extension of himself. He died to himself way before he died on the cross. Because he knew where he was going, but every day he made a choice because agape love is a choice, not a feeling, remember? Remember the definition? It's a choice, not a feeling. It's an enduring choice, not a feeling. Can you give me Luke 22:42, please? Father, if you are willing, please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine. He died to himself way before he went to the cross. He died to himself for us before he went to the cross for us. This is agape love. Knowing that we couldn't return that favor because we're not perfect. Remember the epitome of agape love, a perfect example. He was the perfect example of all those loves, yet we won't choose agape love. Hopefully after today you will, because we're going to explain it even more why agape love is so important. Agape love, it says, agape love is loving and forgiving. These are the qualities. Remember the definition of epitome? Quality and type. Type of what? The type of love, agape love. The quality of that type of love, forgiving. See, even in that, God knew that we couldn't even forgive like him. So he even gave us forgiveness with no expectation of us giving it back. Perfect love. It goes on to say agape love is action oriented. This is how you know when a person's get out of the love walk, because they'll stop giving. As long as they're in love, they'll give. They'll give all day. You want to test and know when a person getting out of the love walk? The first thing the person will do is stop giving. That's a clear sign that somebody has gotten out of the love walk. And we wonder why there's no reconciliation. Because it takes two. It's just like me and my wife walking together. Come here, Ben, please. We walking together. Something happens. We break. Now, I can say, I'm sorry. She can say, I'm sorry, and forgive me. And I turn to her. But if she doesn't accept my forgiveness, now there's no reconciliation. That's where we get the definition, irreconcilable differences. Marriages go through it all the time. But if she says yes, as Christ did, he reconciled us back to himself because we forgave. That's perfect love. That's agape love. But we don't thank you, Ben. We don't live by that love. We live by our own standards. We live by today you love me, tomorrow you don't. You know, like alfalfa. We got this alfalfa love. Can I get that clip? We got this alfalfa love. She loves me not. See, we start out like that. Unfortunately, everybody don't end up like that. That's because we dealing with this worldly love. We'll try, but then the sad part is we'll attach the epitome of all those loves to that kind of love, and say that love ain't even worth it. That love ain't true. Ain't nobody just giving you something for nothing. Christ did. And I love the way Pastor put it. Pastor always say, we love just because. So if I'm loving you just because and you loving me just because, then we're just loving. No, with no expectation. If you make a mistake, it don't change my love. This is agape love. This is what we're supposed to be chasing. When all the other loves failed, which I'm pretty sure everyone in here has experienced failure in all those other loves, from a sibling, even from a parent, from a homeboy, a homegirl who tried to sleep with your man. That girl, she's scandalous. But we won't love them. And see, this is how we play tricks on ourselves. We'll say we forgave them, but we won't embrace them back into the fold. We won't grace them back into the community. You know, God, like I said, he even knew that we couldn't even love them that way. It says agape love is patient. It said it is kind. We can't even be patient, because even in our patience, we huffing and puffing. What? The look said everything. You know, hurry up. You know, you didn't have to say nothing. It says forgiving. We say we forgive, but we don't. It says kind. Hi, girl. I don't fool with her. We'll say we forgave him, or we'll say we were kind to him. What if Christ did us like that? Like I said, what if he didn't reconcile you? He died for you, but he said, no, I'm cool. Hey, God, hey, you remember me? Yeah, I remember I died for you, but I'm cool. I'm cool on you. This is how we do people, and we call it love. That's not love. It is love. It's a worldly love that will always bring you to an end of disappointment. But like I said, like Pastor said last week, then we'll take those three loves and we'll take agape love and try to blend them all together. And then we want somebody to eat it. And I don't want that. And then we're looking at the perfect love, the epitome of love, as though it's all the other loves. And now we've dumbed down God's love. And he said, this is a problem. And so how do we put ourselves in a position to love again the way God has loved? You got to choose it, because it's not a feeling, remember? It's just like these two waters. One is love, one is hatred. You notice you don't get mad at a person until you choose to hate. Everything that's in love, you won't get it until you choose the love. Patience, kindness, meekness, gentleness, forgiveness. All that is in love, but you don't get it. You don't just say, I'm hungry, and then you get full. You say, I'm hungry, but I have to, or I'm thirsty. So you got to choose what will quench the thirst. Water. You got to choose what will quench the unforgiveness. Agape love, not just any love. Because that's what we do. We'll just choose our definition of love, or our version of love, and then mix it with God's definition of love, and then think we've created a new love. I love Gates. You love Gates like you love me? See how we blended it all? Girl, I love macaroni and cheese. Like you love me? What's the difference? Where's the difference at? And this is how we've watered down love. And then the scary part is, like I said, then we'll attach it to God's love, which by definition, not description, by definition, is the epitome of love. It's the epitome, it's the top shelf of all the other loves. But yet we won't choose that love. We'll dismiss that love and keep trying the one that's been disappointing you year after year after year after year. And then come to church, and then when the pastor speaks on agape love, we're just like, sounds good, I'm cool. So now what we do, we treat God's love like it's an ocean. Remember what I said about an ocean? We treat God's love like it's a vague idea, like it's a mental idea, like it's a general understanding that isn't fully detailed. We treat agape love like it's whimsical, a sudden, sometimes impulsive desire. See you 2 Sundays out of a year. It's an impulsive desire. This is how we treat agape love. It's impulsive. Girl, I ain't been to church in a minute. I need to go to church today. And then we won't see you again until you get that impulsive desire again. We treat agape love like it's conceptual, a formal theory of collective belief. A formal theory. What's a formal theory? Um, Higher power. That's what you hear. A higher power or energy or the universe. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? And this is what we do with we even do this with agape love, not just all the other loves. I can see you attaching it to that because it's worldly, it's flesh, and it can only give you worldly desires. It can only give you sensual feelings. It can only give you sensual wants. That's all the other three can give you. But that agape love, it says, is a selfless love. So you mean to tell me selflessness is a epitomized quality of an epitomized love? You mean to tell me that unconditional is a epitomized quality? Because that's the definition. That's the definition of epitome, a person or thing. Christ, the person, that is a perfect example of a particular quality or a type. What type of love? Agape love. So you mean to tell me that it says modeled by God's love for humanity. You mean to tell me that agape love is action oriented, a sacrificial and enduring choice? So you mean to tell me action oriented is the epitome quality of an epitomized love? See how we missing out? We missing out on the best, the perfect example of everything that's tied up in one love, and we'll go over to the tainted love and try to fix it ourselves. Which, as Miss Kenesha's Lady K said Wednesday night at Bible study, what's his name? Darnell. Darnell ain't gonna change. And you had to been there because she was talking about the wheat and the tare. And Paris, see, this is when you tapped into the things of God. Paris said, but they both look alike. See, that's what it's gonna look. Love, all of them look alike because all of them give you something that you can somewhat hold your hat on. But at the end, some gonna disappoint because when it comes down to the separation, and Lady K was saying how when wheat grow up, when it gets tall, it'll get so tall where then it'll bend, it'll lay. But the weed, it'll stand straight up. And the true definition of the weed of the kind that we were referring to that looked alike, his name or its name was Darnell. And it was so amazing because she was saying how Darnell's he's stiff back, he hard. But we'll go try to fix Darnell. We'll try to love the red flags out of him. And you can't do that. And then we come back disappointed even more than we was when we went the 13th time, because we 14 times in now, 10 years later, and we wondering why we're disappointed. And then when it comes to the epitomized type of the loves, we tired now. I don't even want to try God. I'm cool. I'm cool on love. And we'll sing what's love got to do with it the rest of our lives and call it a notion. It says, agape love restores. Agape love restores. Christ did all that he did, knowing that we couldn't do none of that. We couldn't love like he loved. We couldn't forgive like he forgave. We couldn't be kind like he was kind. We couldn't be patient like he was. But we give a whole book, a whole chapter, I should say, in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8, talks about what love is. And I think we did that word a disjustice, a disservice, because we should have added agape to that. It just says love. And when you hear the word love, that you automatically think about your love or the loves you've been through. And so, again, like I said, we'll attach it to his love. And now we've dumbed down the epitomized love for this subpar love. And we think they're all in the same, and they're not. Now, in here, talking about how agape love restores. If you can give me my list of agape love and how, look at this. It restores, it renews, it intercedes. This is what real love does. It heals, it never fails, it crowns. What do you mean? It forgives. It feels. My wife, when my wife was looking at this, and she said, "Baby, did you mean F-E-E-L-S or F-I-L-L-S?" I said, F-I-L, because real love will fill you, not feel you. Real love will fill you up. It said reveals. Real love will reveal. It says real love is compassionate. This is top shelf love right here. This is agape love. This is epitomized love. These are the qualities. Remember the definition: quality or type. The qualities of a type of love. It's grace. It's merciful. It removes. It fathers. It tenders. It loves and it saves. Man, that's what I want. I'm tired of the other love that's been, because we can put a list of what that's been doing: hurting, maiming, killing. We can put a definition up for all the other, or a description of all the other loves and what it's done to us. But look, nowhere in there do you see any one of those words that will hurt you. All those words are of reconciliation. Look at those words. It intercedes for you. When you too weak, love will fight for you. Real love will fight for you. Real love won't say, "Girl, you need to get it together. Boy, you tripping," and leave you there to bleed out. That's not love. Not agape love. Love is a feeling. It's a sacrifice. It says it is an enduring sacrifice. It'll endure. I was talking to a mom a couple days ago, and she was dealing with a situation, and she said, "I told my husband, I'm going to always love you." And I was like, man, that's good stuff. Regardless of what he was doing, what he was going through, where he was at in his life, she said, "I'm your wife. I'm going to always love you." And I just was like, man, I thank God I got a wife like that, man. She going to always love me, even when I mess up. She going to always love me. That's an epitome. That's an epitomized definition of love. And so, as we look at that, I want you to see that love restores. And I'm finna wrap it up here, because when you understand restoration has to take place. When God shows up on the scene, restoration takes place. Now, the purpose of restoration, through God's love, not through man's love, not through your love, through God's love, the purpose of restoration through God's love is to restore every person back to God's original intent for their lives. When God restores you, when he restores you, your intentional, or your first initial purpose for life is going to be restored, which means you got where you don't get to start nothing new. Your purpose never changed. When he starts you over, if you ever seen one of the shows on restoration, American Restoration, with the pop machines, where the guy, him and his sons, they restore all these old pop machines, and they strip people, bring them to them, and they all busted up and ugly looking, and kind of like our lives are, busted up and ugly looking, and they bring them to him, and they say, "How much would you charge me to restore this?" And the man will give him a quote, and the guy will say, "Yay or nay." And so he'll get it, and he'll fix it up back to its original intent. I don't care what year it came from, 67, 37, 27. When he gets through restoring that thing, and not only did he just restore it, it's operable to its original intent. You can put a quarter in it. A payphone used to be a dime. You could put that dime in there, and it will work. This is what God does. When he restores you and brings you back to your original intent, you will be living out your purpose. Not your desires and not your dreams, but your purpose. And it'll bring a life to you that will surpass all understanding. I'm closing. Now listen to this. The first step in restoration, people of God, y'all gotta get this. Y'all gotta get this. The first step in restoration is damage assessment. This requires you, not God. God already knows your struggle. This requires you conducting a comprehensive inspection of the damaged site and equipment. What's the damaged site? My heart. What's the equipment? Your hands, your mouth, things you've been using to hurt people. That's the equipment, because God's going to use your hands. The damaged site is your heart. Now that thing is hurting, and so now you, like I said, now you running around singing, what's love got to do with it? When God has somebody for you, but you rejecting them. And like I said earlier, you can't attract what you despise. It's impossible. Impossible. It says, inspection of the damaged site and equipment, and here we go. See, this is how we try to play God. We give him what we want. It says, and then documenting everything, not some things. God, you can deal with my finances, but not my bedroom. And then we'll go in there and close the door and turn the lights off like God ain't got X-ray vision. like he can't see through the wall. Superman. Come on, y'all. We got to do better than this. It says equipment, and then documenting everything that will need to be repaired, restored, or replaced. See, some things you just won't restore when they need to be replaced. I need a new engine. We can't do nothing with that engine. That engine ain't no good no more. I need a new man. See, you want that old man. You want God to prop him back up and make him look good again. But no, I need to put something new in you. I need to give you something new. You want that old woman, that same old woman. It go both ways. I'm with y'all, ladies. I'm with y'all. It go both ways. It says a comprehensive. You know what comprehensive means? It means thorough. You got to check every part of that thing, every part of your life, every part of your heart. You got to check it. And then document it. You got to write that thing down. One thing I learned about it when you're writing around, my wife says she loves writing, taking notes. She don't like laptops. She don't, and I mean, they got this for me, and I'm old school too. Give me pen and paper. And an old head told me once before, he said, because paper don't forget. You can write that thing on paper and go back to it years later. It might be yellow, but that ink's still on that paper, I promise you. And when you've lived long enough, it's amazing how much stuff you've forgotten versus what you still remember. You'd be like, yeah, and my kids be laughing like, dang, Daddy, it took you that long to think about it. Y'all know how far back I had to go? My memory bank is big, you know, and I'm running out of space. It says documenting everything that would need to be repaired, restored, or replaced. And that's what I love about God's word. He said he will replace, restore, and repair. Now, I'm closing here. He said he'll leave the 99 for the one. Guess what? I'm the one. You the one. Why would you do that, Lord? Because he know there's nobody on earth like you. There's nobody, and y'all have heard me say this before, some of y'all that I've spoken to, and I'm going to say it to the masses. There's over 7 billion people on the planet, 7 with a B. There's nobody like that. They can't go nowhere on earth and find another you. I don't care where they go. And I always just tell my wife, if it's another me, I'm going with them because I want to see. You got to have to prove it's another me. This is how unique you is. Everything God put in you is he only made one. That's why when you have when you in surgery or you having issues with your body, and they say you need another kidney, and they get one that match, but they have to give you anti-rejection medicine because that's not your kidney. Your body even knows that's not the kidney God put in me, and it'll reject that thing. That's how unique you are. That everything about you, your eyes, they can give you another eye, but it won't be. They'll have to give you medicine to make that eye stay, to make your body accept that eye. Because that's your eye. That's not her eye. That's how unique you are, but you got to know that. God knew that. He knew that. He said before you was formed, he said, I know every hair on your head. He said, I know. That's because he know there's only one you, and can't nobody do what you do. Can't nobody laugh like you. Can't nobody cry like you. That's how important we are to him. That he'll, oh my gosh, one of them getting away. Let me go get my people. Because I need her to be at the door. Or I need her praying. Well, there's a whole bunch of people that can pray, but they can't pray like her. Because every single one of us has an assignment. Every single one of us in here got somebody's name on them. And that person will stay sick until you reach them. I don't care how many other people speak into their lives. Come on, ministers. I don't care how many other people are speaking to their lives, but they'll stay sick until you get there. That's why you got to know your purpose. And they'll come and you'll speak in that person's life, and it'll be like the Big Bang Theory. Boom, and something will fall off of them, and they'll be like, man, where you been all this time? I heard that before, but it didn't move them because it wasn't supposed to come from them. Provision is in your set place, people of God. Know that. You ever seen the movie Book of Eli? You notice how when he was going through everything he was going through, and God was providing for him, and all these things was happening, and the girl that took off with him, and he just walking, and she said, where you going? He said, we're going west. And she said, well, how what direction you know where you're going? He said, we walk by faith and not by sight. If you really paid attention to the movie, he was blind the whole time. Nobody even knew it because he was walking by faith. He didn't need eyesight. Even to the point where he was walking and he heard a noise and he stopped. He told the girl, stop, and shot a bird out there. Not with his eyes, but with his faith. Provision. Hide that word in your heart so much to the point to where when they come after it, they can get that physical book like they took from him. But they didn't get it out of his heart. That even to when he got to his set place, they cleaned him up, put him on white, and then he read that word back to them from Genesis to Revelations because it was in his heart. And so, people of God, I want us to get this epitomized love, agape love. If you're here today and you want to try God again, you want to try this agape love, this love that has all these qualities, that restores, that intercedes. If you want to try God again, come on up. Just give his love a try. Give his love a try. If you just want prayer, you're just asking God to God, just enlighten me on your word. Just come up and ask him. But then there's a part you got to play. You got to get in that word. You got to eat that thing. And you're only going to get out of the text what you asked of it. So whatever you want from God, you ask him. And he'll show you in his word. That's just how it really is. If you don't know him and you want to be born again, come up. Ask him. God, save me. If I died today, I wouldn't know where I was going. But I know I want that kind of love. I want that love that don't disappoint. I want that kind of love that never fails. I want that kind of love that intercedes. If you could do that for me, Lord. And if you have any questions that you just want, after service, some of the ministers will be around. I'll be over here. You can ask me if there's anything you want to know or any questions you just might have. I have a question, and if they can put my question up, we'll go with this question for today. God knows your worth. Do you? God knows your worth. Do you? What areas in your life are you willing to do a comprehensive assessment on? That's totally up to you. Now, don't get mad when your love life break down again because you didn't do that comprehensive assessment. You didn't document everything that needed to be fixed. You only gave him what you wanted him to fix, and then your fuel pump went out, and now you got to go back to the mechanic because when you should have done a comprehensive assessment, you didn't do that. And so, if anybody is just wanting to know God more and just wanting more of Him, just His love, because I'm telling you, man, His love, when He came and got me off my deathbed. I had a massive heart attack in 2007. I was only 37 years old. And they told me, had that lady not knocked on my window, they'd have found me in my car dead. To the point to where when I got to the hospital, last thing I remember, and it was crazy because it happened on my birthday. And my wife was throwing me this party, and police locked my cell phone in my car, so nobody had a way to get in touch with me. And here I am in the hospital on my deathbed. Last thing I remember is the lady saying, I'm like, man, what's happening? I take the mask off. She says, sir, you're having a heart attack. And the last thing I remember, the room just going, and I was gone. When I woke up the next morning, man, I had 2 big old burn marks on my chest from those paddles, and they had to bring me back 8 times. They said usually after the 3rd time, we quit. God met me. He restored me. He restored me. And it was so real. My doctor said, he said, man, I couldn't let you die. I couldn't let you die. I was his age. He was 40, Middle Eastern dude, guy. And he said, I couldn't let you die. He said, I had to see what's wrong with you. You were in perfect health. He said, usually people come in the hospital from a heart attack at your age. It's usually from drug use. And he said, but you didn't have no drugs in your system. He said, you didn't have high blood pressure. You didn't have high cholesterol. He said, I couldn't let you die. And it was just real. And I know God met me there, man, because look at me today. Man. So I don't have the luxury to not choose his love. I don't have that luxury. Some of y'all might do, but I'm not one of them. And so I thank God for his love, man, and I choose it. It's not a feeling for me, it's a choice that I die to myself every day so that I can be used by him, so that I can continue on this pace. If anybody, any doctors or anybody in here know, a healthy heart, a resting heart, beats at 50 to 60 beats a minute. Mine's is at like 20, even right now. And I used to say, God, man, why me? And I had a friend, she said, who told you God needs you to have a whole heart to do what he needs to do with you? And so I stopped having a pity party for my pity. And I just started saying, use it with what you got then, God, use it. And I just thank him because his love restores, it repairs. And so I want y'all to know that. If you try God, try his love. Not just him, try that agape love. Forgive with no expectation of reciprocity, with no expectation of the person giving it back. Give. Love. Be patient. If they ain't patient with you, that shouldn't determine if you're patient or not. This is agape love, and this is what we want to experience. And so as we move forward in this series, we done went from grace to agape love. And I don't know what Pastor bringing next. He been gone, so I know he going to come on fire. Whoever coming, they going to come and tear the pulpit up. But I thank God for our teaching of our men and women of God. They've taught us so much. They've labored so much before us. And they really exemplify to the best of their abilities agape love. They love us even when we mess up. We be late to the meetings. Pastor just told us the week before, stop being late. And when we come in late again, he still loves us. He don't get on our head. We be like, phew. And so, in saying that, I just want y'all to know I love y'all words way. We always end in one of our foundational scriptures on the qualities of agape love, because whether you know it or not, those are agape love. What is that? Okay, there we go. So if we could all say this together, because look, in my definition of agape, it had all those things in there. That's the epitome. That's the perfect example of that type of love. The perfect qualities. So if we can say those together, y'all, we can go home and try to live out some agape love in our lives. Let's try. Just get one of them. Don't try to do them all. Just get one of them, and work that one. Okay. So let's say them together. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. So words way, I want y'all to go and do these and live life what? Let's go. Thank you.